Another Palm Beach County school student, this one at Olympic Heights High School, busted for supposedly threatening students on Snapchat this week. Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies say Jose Calderoni sent a picture of cars in the campus parking lot with the caption, quote, "I've strapped C4 to every car in the student parking lot. If you try to leave early, it will detonate." When deputies arrested Calderone, they said he told them it was funny and a joke. Well, this topic, not an easy one to talk about. This next one, teenage suicide. But as it begins to touch more and more lives, it increasingly becomes part of the conversation.
And now local students have created a public service announcement for fellow teenagers. News Channel 5's Tanya Rogers shows you.
A teenage girl torn between her thoughts of suicide and the time she spends with friends. This public service announcement inspired by 17-year-old Hayden Hill.
Doing this, I run into a lot of people who have very similar issues, and over the past 3 years, I think it's become very apparent to me how relevant this issue is.
Sophomore Vincent Amadeus calls his PSA about teenage suicide fallen.
Stop, dude, just wait. Stay in the car. Text 211. Do something. Just stay in the car.
Obviously, this is a subject needed to be touched on by teens themselves.
These students want struggling teenagers to know there is always help available. Just call 211 and a crisis counselor will answer, ready to listen.
Kids are suffering and they need help, and they don't realize help is just a phone call away. It's as easy as dialing 211 or texting 898-211.
These students felt they had to do something to help people their own age.
We were really drawn to this organization for the ability to empower youth, to help youth, and maybe save a life.
I thought that there was nothing I could do. I didn't think that anyone cared for me.
Powerful messages from these kids, and we have placed their PSAs on our website. That way you can see them and share them and possibly turn a life around. Tanya Rogers, WPTV News Channel 5.
The quiet zones along the FEC railroad tracks in Boca Raton are in effect. It's the third Palm Beach County city to implement its quiet zones. Conductors could still blare the horn, but only in case of an emergency. The city of Boynton Beach will implement its quiet zones in about 2 to 3 months.
As more development is planned for downtown West Palm Beach, what does construction now mean for property values later?
As counties spray for mosquitoes in the wake of rainfall, they can't always target the water in your yard. How spending just $50 could help keep your property mosquito-free.
This is News Channel 5 at 6. Thanks for making WPTV your #1 most trusted news source.
Get ready, more construction coming to downtown West Palm Beach this summer. Today, developers broke ground at the old City Hall site, and it'll become apartments, a waterfront hotel, a restaurant, and more. Just one of many projects coming to downtown right now, and more, supporters claim, will mean higher property values and a stronger real estate market.
Last year, the average sales price in this building was $231,000. This year, in the last 12 months, it's actually gone up to $250,000. Of course, when people see new development, they usually are much more comfortable buying in a place that there is things that are going in the right direction.
As for crime, the president of the Downtown Neighborhood Association said the numbers in West Palm Beach are not, his words, significant enough to affect property values. The customs office at Boca Raton Airport now open for international travelers. According to our news partners at the Palm Beach Post, the office started operating today. Before today, the closest customs offices were either West Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale. International boaters will also be able to clear customs at the facility. The office will be open Thursdays through Mondays from 10:30 in the morning till 6:30 in the evening. To read more, please go to mypalmbeachpost.com/WPTV.
Well, a break from the thunderstorms means mosquito control companies, they are getting to work out there. Crews are out trying to wipe out the disease-transmitting mosquitoes that are likely trying to breed in your yard in standing water. Mosquito control experts say county aerial sprays, they're good, but they won't target the mosquitoes breeding in your yard.
It's really meant to do is knock down the adults that are flying right at that time. What we really target is what we call the daytime resting areas.
Those daytime resting areas can be hard to get to if you have a lot of trees and plants in your yard. But if you're on a budget and have a pretty sparse yard like one that we saw here in this video, we have 5 easy do-it-yourself ways you can control mosquitoes on our website, WPTV.com. Just click the link to this story. Medical marijuana is legal in Florida, but patients still can't smoke it. A local doctor believes that option can be the key to bringing relief to some patients.
Still some rain on the radar. I'll let you know how long that'll last. Plus, let you know what our weekend rain chances are. Weekend quickly approaching and how hot it's going to get next week.
It's a hotly debated issue in Florida. Should patients be able to smoke medical marijuana? News Channel 5's Sabira Rayford here with why some local doctors hope the answer soon becomes yes. Sabira?
Michael, since the people voted in 2016 to make medical marijuana legal in the state of Florida, some doctors in the area have changed their specialty. I talked with one doctor who told me medical marijuana can have a life-changing impact. Dr. Jennifer Guthrie has practiced medicine for 9 years, but in November she decided to switch her specialty.
This is just an example of some of the oil.
She's talking about cannabis oil, one of the medications she's licensed to prescribe.
Everyone assumes that it's all stoners doing this, you know, people who just are out to get high. And that's not the case at all.
In fact, Dr. Guthrie says she has a wide range of patients.
Everything from epilepsy to people with chronic pain, to people with glaucoma, HIV.
She says she's learned that each patient requires different care.
Everyone's system's very different. All their receptors are different and they react differently. Some people get no relief from any other way other than smoking the actual flower.
And right now, that's illegal. In November of 2016, voters approved the use of medical marijuana, but only through food, oil, spray, and vaping. On Friday, a circuit court judge ruled the state's ban to smoke medical marijuana unconstitutional. But less than an hour after that ruling, Florida's Department of Health appealed. I reached out to the Florida's Department of Health since it filed the appeal, but we were declined an interview. Instead, it gave us this statement saying, quote, "This ruling goes against what the legislature outlined when they wrote and approved Florida's law to implement the constitutional amendment that was approved by an overwhelmingly bipartisan majority. The department has appealed the ruling, and the appeal imposes an automatic stay." The statement went on to say the department remains committed to implementing the law so Florida patients have safe access to this medicine.
Whether they get their hands on concentrated oil or flour, if someone wants to abuse something, they're going to abuse it. I don't think adding another treatment method is going to hurt their case at all on the medicinal side.
Now, if Governor Scott doesn't reconsider the state's appeal, an Orlando attorney, says he could ask the Florida Supreme Court to hear the case on an expedited basis since one of the plaintiffs in this case has ALS. Sabira Rayford, WPTV News Channel 5.
A close call in Boynton Beach. This video here shows a truck pull up to that red light, and then you just saw from the inside lane a car completely cuts the truck off, makes that right turn. This all happened on Federal Highway and Southeast 23rd Avenue. Boynton Beach police shared the video as a warning for other drivers. Wow, so close. The penalty, by the way, for this dangerous move, a $150 ticket. Renourishment at two beaches on Palm Beach could happen sooner than planned. Our partners at the Palm Beach Daily News report the town council received a recommendation to renourish Midtown Beach a year earlier in 2021 to take advantage of FEMA reimbursements. It would combine the project with the planned renourishment of Phipps Ocean Park. Both beaches suffered erosion in the wake of Hurricanes Matthew and Irma.
As you well know, and perhaps you're being impacted, we hope not, but we've heard from many of us, still several places across our area dealing with flooding, including the Pine Glades Natural Area on Indiantown Road west of Jupiter. People can still access some of the trails, but many are underwater. The Palm Beach County Department of Environmental Resources Management recommends taking extra shoes and socks and bug spray should you decide to go fishing or hiking there soon. We're still dealing with that flooding and some scattered rain, as I said, but everywhere from Missouri to North Carolina dealing with their dangers left behind after the remnants of subtropical storm Alberto passed by. Here's NBC's Kerry Sanders ahead of Nightly News.
14 million people are at risk for severe weather today. Here in Boone, North Carolina, the remnants of subtropical Alberto causing a mudslide that then hit a house and a gas line. That gas line exploded, killing 2 people in the house. Authorities here are right now trying to determine if anything could have been done. Meantime, mudslides remain a concern in North Carolina, in the Blue Ridge Mountains in western North Carolina, where they have established a state of emergency, according to the governor. The fear is, of course, that there could be up to 2 inches of rain today that would set off even more floods The ground here is already soaking wet. Back to you.
And more on that tonight on NBC Nightly News. But major changes are coming this hurricane season. They're going to affect everything from when you start preparing for a storm to forecasting the paths the hurricanes will take. Is this going to be another busy season? Should you stay in your home or should you leave? We have all the details for you and more in our special Surviving the Storm that's coming up Saturday night at 7 right here on News Channel 5.
We have the best team, we have the best science, and in this world, James, I'll tell you, with the punch you see from these storms, we need all of it and more.
We really do.
Hopefully we don't have to test any of those new things that are coming out, because
please.
It'd be nice to have a quiet year. I know we had many in a row, but after a couple of years in a row of being threatened here, it's no good. This is Sebastian Inlet right now, and looking at mainly some calm weather, calm seas out there too, just a small swell. Look, a little nice sunset going too, with the sun shining off the higher clouds offshore. We do have near Sebastian, just to your west, some storms headed your way there. So those will make it to the coast there, but probably not much south of there. We have one shower here. Finally rained itself out near Port St. Lucie, where we picked up bullseye there, 1.3 inches. Elsewhere near Port St. Lucie, almost an inch, 3/4 of an inch or so. And we're tracking these thunderstorms that are quickly approaching the